Shalom, Israel. Like to say, Call Halal, or Call Halayim Yahweh Bahashim, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah. Can't forget the Wamalak. That's giving all praises and honor and glory to the Most High Father Yahweh, in His Son's name, the King and the Messiah Yahweh Shah. And the title of this video is gonna be Who is Esau? Or how to prove who is Esau. Somewhere around those lines. Because everybody start off with that Genesis 25:25, and that's cool. But in the spirit, we're gonna break this down. And I wanna say shout out to the elders that taught us this truth, and to the brothers that's pushing the truth around the world, and the ones who taught me that truth too, the brothers out there for sure. My camp name is the Sons of Zion. We in KC, and it's the Sabbath today. I go by the Saturday Sabbath. But anyway, I wanted to get into this because people always saying that, or there's some unlearned Israelites out there saying that Esau is the Arabs or the Ishmaelites, and they really can't prove it through the Bible. They go through a lot of things to substantiate their claim. But I'm going to prove to you in the Bible that Esau is the so-called white man, our enemy, our natural-born enemy. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and start it off with First Maccabees 1:1. So let's get it. First Maccabees 1:1. And it says, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. So right here, it's letting you know that Alexander is a Macedonian, right? Now everybody know about Alexander the Great, first great white man to conquer over them lands. He know he a white man, right? So he came from Macedonia. Now, from there, I'm gonna go to editions of Esther. It's a lot of gems in there, and it's a lot of good gems in Tobit too. But that's another topic. But let's go to editions of Esther. I want y'all to follow me because remember, Alexander is a Macedonian, a white Macedonian, right? So-called white. Editions of Esther. Let's get it. Start at 16:10, verse 10. It says, for Amon, a Macedonian, the son of Amadatha, being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood, and far distance from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us. So he's given a name. This man is Amon, a Macedonian, right? Remember, a Macedonian. Alexander was a Macedonian, right? So Amon is a Macedonian. Now we're gonna figure out who this Amon person is. So we're gonna go to Editions of Esther again. 12 and 6. I want to say. Yep, 12 and 6. It says, howbeit Amon, the son of Amalekites, the Agagite, who was in great honor with the king, sought to molest Mordecai and his people because of the 2 eunuchs of the king. Now, you got to follow me. Amon is an Agagite, but Amon is a Macedonian. A Macedonian is Alexander is a Macedonian. So this is going in line. You got to follow me. And Lord willing, through the Spirit, I hope you're getting it. So from there, to figure out who is a Agagite, that's what we want to figure out. Who is an Agagite? Because Amon is an Agagite, which was a Macedonian. So let's figure out where this Agagite person comes from. 1 Samuel 15 and 7. It says, and Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt. Verse 8, here's the point. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed the people with the edge of the sword. So look, Agag was the king of the Amalekites. And that's where you get that name Agagite. Amon is an Agagite, which is also a Macedonian, which Alexander the Greek, or the Great, was a Macedonian. You see now, follow that line. Now we need to find out who are these Amalekites. This is how you do this through precept. So from there, I'm gonna go to Genesis 36 and 12. It says, and Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. So Eliphaz is Esau's son, right? And she bare to Eliphaz Amelek. So Eliphaz had Amelek as a son. This is all coming from Esau. These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife. There you go. Esau had Amelek. Or Agag was a king over the Amalekites, which was a Macedonian, and Alexander the Great was a Macedonian, proving that they the white folks. That's where Esau come from. Well, that's where white people come from. Esau. That's they pawpaw, man. You know what I'm saying? Or that's they great ancestor. That's who they descend from. So you see these white folks, a lot of these white folks walking around now, they descend from Esau. They your enemy, man. Now, I want to get into what happened with this, because when you read about Amon, the Macedonian, and Esther, the motherfucker was a wicked dude. Excuse my French. He was a wicked dude who was trying to persecute all the Jews, especially Mordecai, because Mordecai wouldn't bow to him. Now, if Saul would have killed all the Amalekites like the Most High told him to, that wouldn't even never happen. And I'm gonna show you. 1 Samuel 15 and 7. We're gonna go back to where we was. It says, and Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to shore that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag. See, the Most High told him to kill all of them, but he spared Agag, and the best of the sheep and of the oxen and of the fatlings and the lambs and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them. But everything that was vile and refused, that they destroyed utterly. So Saul was being wicked and had his own plan that, yeah, the Most High told me to kill everything in that land and don't spare none. But I'm gonna take the best of the oxen and the sheep. And he spared Agag. Why? You know what I'm saying? You fulfilling your own lust. You ain't even following the commandments of the Most High. So because of that, this is what happened. Verse 10. Then came the word of the Lord. Then came the word of Yahweh unto Samuel, saying, It repented me that I have set up Saul to be king. So Most High feeling like, I should have never put this wicked nigga as a king. For he is turned back from following me and have not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto Yahweh all night. So even Samuel was a little upset about it. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place, and is gone about and passed on and gone down to Gilgal. Hey, so Samuel went looking for this nigga. And Samuel wasn't no joke. So, verse 13. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, listen what this wicked nigga said. Blessed be thou of Yahweh. I have performed the commandment of Yahweh. So right now this nigga lying to how you gonna lie to the prophet, man? You gonna lie to him, say you done fulfilled the commandments? And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in my ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear? Basically, in modern day terms, he said, man, look, I ain't trying to hear that bullshit. I'm just he said that, but he's really talking about all the sheep that he gathered and all the oxen that he gathered, right? Remember, he took all the best sheep and oxen. And Saul said, they had brought them from the Amalekites. So now he blaming it on all the other Israelites. They had brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice unto Yahweh thy God, and the rest we have utterly destroyed. Then Samuel said unto Saul, Stay, and I will tell thee what Yahweh hath said to me this night. And he said unto him, Say on. And Samuel said, When thou wast little in thy own sight, wast thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel? And Yahweh anointed thee king over Israel? And Yahweh sent thee on a journey and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed? Wherefore then did thou not obey the voice of Yahweh, but did fly upon the spoil, and did evil in the sight of Yahweh? And Saul said unto Samuel, Yeah, I have obeyed the voice of Yahweh, and have gone the way which Yahweh sent me, and have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto Yahweh thy God in Gilgal. So right now Saul is pleading his case on why things happen. Well, I'm gonna go back up because I think Saul said he wanted to take all those things, right? They said it put both of them in there. It said verse 9, but Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep. So they all guilty. Let's go back down. Verse 22, it says, and Samuel said, have Yahweh as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of Yahweh? So Samuel asked him, is the Most High more delighted in burnt offerings over keeping his commandments? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. So, I mean, that's game right there. Samuel just dropped some jewels. It's better to keep the commandments than to give sacrifices, right? Let's see what happens. Verse 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of Yahweh, he hath also rejected thee from being king. Boom. And I'm gonna stop right there. Because at the end of the day, if Saul would have did what he was supposed to do, Haman or Amon, which was the Macedonian Agagite, would have never been able to try to destroy the Jews. But it was all supposed to happen anyway, because that's where we get our feast from. Now look, let's see if I can find it in Esther. Editions. I'm gonna go to editions of Esther. Even when you read Esther, it talks about it in there too. Editions. 16 and 10. I want to go here. Let me see. Let's see. 12. Let's go here. Let's do this. Come on. Bear with me, Israel. I'm trying to find this particular scripture. Okay, so I think it's this one right here. I'm gonna start at, this is editions of Esther 13 and 3. This is actually in the Apocrypha, and it's actually some stuff you should really get into. I will read Esther and then go into editions of Esther, because it goes in to show that this guy, Amon, his name is Amon in editions of Esther, and then in Esther is Haman. And the reason being is because different the way it was translated or transliterated. Now I'm gonna start at verse 3. It says, "Now when I asked my counselors how this might be brought to pass, a mind that excelled in wisdom among us and was approved for his constant goodwill and steadfast fidelity, and had the honor of the second place in the kingdom." So this dude was, Amon was in a high stature in the king's place. Verse 4 says, this is what he declared unto us, that in all nations throughout the world there was scattered a certain malicious people that had laws contrary to all nations, talking about Israel, and continually despised the commandments of kings. So as the uniting of our kingdoms honorably intended by us cannot go forward. So this nigga, this wicked Edomite, was saying, man, these Israelites out here got laws contrary to what we trying to do, and they interfering. So his main objective was to get rid of these people, get rid of the Israelites, the Jews. Just like how they doing now. You know, it's the same thing. Verse 5. "Seeing then we understand that this people alone is continually in opposition unto all men, differing in strange manner of their laws." See, and that's what these heathens can't understand. They don't understand why we trying to keep these laws, and it upsets them that we trying to keep these laws and not go by their ways. It upsets them, but really it's all pride, right? So it says, differing in the strange manner of their laws, and evil affected to our state. See, now he lying, working all the mischief they can, that our kingdom may not be firmly established. So he's putting all these oppositions to the king about why these Israelites need to be done away with, why these Jews need to be done away with, right? Verse 6, "Therefore we have commanded that all they that are signified in writing unto you by Amon, who is ordained over the affairs and is next unto us, shall all with their wives and children be utterly destroyed by the sword of their enemies, without all mercy and pity, the 14th day and the 12th month of Adar of this present year." So he just made a decree that all these Israelites need to be destroyed because they want to keep laws contrary to us, and he's saying that we causing mischief by not letting their kingdom excel, basically. So I'm gonna go to verse 7. "That they who of old and now also are malicious may in one day with violence go into the grave, and so hereafter cause our affairs to be well settled and without trouble. Then Mordecai, which is Mordecai, thought upon all the works of the Lord, and made his prayer unto him, saying, O Lord, the King Almighty, for the whole world is in thy power, and if thou hast appointed to save Israel, there is no man that can gainsay thee. For thou hast made heaven and earth and all the wondrous things under heaven. So when you read on, it's really a good story, man. But because of this wicked Edomite Amon, we had to go through a little persecution. But in the end, it worked it out in our favor. it ended up bad for Amon. Let me see if I can find it in let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna just go a little couple precepts about Amon or Haman. They also call him Haman in Esther. So this is Esther 3:1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman the son of Amminadab, the Agagite. Remember, the Agagites go back to the King Agag of the Amalekites, and the Amalekites go back all the way back to Esau from Eliphaz, the son. Esau's son Eliphaz had the Amelek, which is the Amalekites, and then Ammon came from Agag, and Ammon was a Macedonian, and guess who else was a Macedonian? Alexander the Great was a Macedonian. So that's how you prove who Esau is. But I'm gonna just go into a little bit of history in Esther. It says, and after these things, this is Esther 3:1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman the son of Amminadab, the Agagite. Haman, right? Haman. And advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. So this Edomite was on high above everybody, right? And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai, which is Mordecai in here, and then in addition to Esther, his name is Mordecai. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. So everybody was bound down to this dude Haman, which is this Edomite. But Mordecai, being a Israelite, you ain't supposed to bow to nobody. You ain't my God. And he didn't give him no respect. So look, then the king's servants which were in the king's gate said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment? So these king's servants like, why you ain't bowing down to this dude? You breaking the commandment of the kings, of the king. Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them. So this went on a few times. And hey, Mordecai, being a strong Israelite he is, a Jew, he wasn't even trying to hear it. They told Haman, so they went and told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand. So they went, yeah, we gonna tell Haman. Then I bet he gonna bow in. So, you know, you got your little tattletales, little snitches. Went and told on Mordecai to Haman, for he had told them that he was a Jew. Ooh, so you know, I'm gonna show you something after that too. And Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Then Haman was full of wrath, and he thought to scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. So they wouldn't show like, oh yeah, he from the Jews, right? Okay. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom. So this is how much wrath Haman had for the Jews. Because one man wouldn't give him reference. He's like, I'm going to destroy all y'all. So let me read that again. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai, which is the Jews, right? So now, I'm telling you, this is a good story. Y'all should read this. But let me go down to let me see if I can find it again. I'm looking for something specific. Three and 10. That's what I wanted. I'm gonna just keep reading because that's where I was. Salaki, Israel. Bear with me. Verse 7. In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is the lot, before Haman from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month of Adar. A little history, give you a little understanding there. So they was casting lots, right? And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws diverse from all the people. Remember, we read that in editions of Esther. I think it was in chapter 12. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But we just read this. Haman went and told the king that these people's laws differ from us, and they trying to stop the kingdom from furthering. And their laws differ from all the people, neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not the king's profit to suffer them. He said, man, you shouldn't even be tripping on these people. Because they don't even want to keep your laws. We got to do something about it, right? So verse 9. If it please the king, let it be written, that they may be destroyed. So you got this wicked Edomite trying to go against the Jews because one man didn't want to bow. This is how much wrath he had, how much hate he had for the Jews. He wanted to destroy all the people, right? Because we trying to keep God's laws. And he was an Edomite. Like I said, they are natural born enemy, man. And you see it every day through these streets. Now, if it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasuries. So he putting a hit out on them, you know what I'm saying? And he wanted written down. So he trying to turn the rest of the people against the Jews too. Verse 10. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it to Haman, the son of Hamathadatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. So what it means when the king took his ring off his hand and gave it to Haman, when it was it's like a signet, so a signet. So when the king presses on that written paper, it lets you know the king's seal, the king's ring is on it, and it's declared. Just like a stamp. You know what I'm saying? They dip it in ink and then they push it on the paper. Same thing. It's solidified basically. And that's what I wanted to get to though. The Agagite, Haman the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. They been our enemy, man. And because Saul didn't do what he was supposed to do, this happened. Years later down the road. But like I said, this is a good story. Y'all should really get into it. Esther and editions of Esther. Even go back and read Samuel 15th chapter too, because it lets you know what Saul was supposed to do. And because he didn't follow God's commandments, this is the result of what happened. You know what I'm saying? Saul was stripped away from being king. Now we got this Agagite, Haman, trying to persecute us under the king Ahasuerus. So like I said, it's a good story to get into. And with that, I'm gonna just, I'm gonna end it right there. Hopefully, and Lord willing, everyone was edified on this. I would say go back and replay this and try to get understanding if you don't, because this is a straight proof that who is Esau is. And like I said, with that, we're going to give all praise to the Most High Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah. That's in your son's name, the Messiah and King, Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly called Christ, or Jesus. We know his real name is Yahweh Shah in the Hebrew. And I like to say shalom to the brothers out there that's pushing the truth. And it ain't no hate towards none of y'all brothers out there, man. You know what I'm saying? I love all y'all, even though our doctrines differ just a tad bit. But hey, that come with it. Until Christ return, until Shiloh return, everything gonna be restored. So shout out to all my brothers out there pushing the truth, and the elders that taught us this truth, and everybody who I learned from. You know what I'm saying? And shalom.